Okay, so let's just, as we normally do, just settle into your meditation posture and just bring your mind to where your body is. Just trying to settle the mind. And check your feet. And for you two sick ones, you can just sit however you like, however is most comfortable and rested. But for the rest of us, we keep, if your feet are down on the ground, make sure they're in a parallel position. Or other than that, if your legs are in a cross-legged position, you can perhaps, if your hips and knees are tight, you can prop them up with cushion. Make sure you have something underneath your sit bones and you're sitting on a fairly solid surface, so you're not sinking down. Shoulders nicely aligned with the hips. Hands in the meditation mudra, the right hand nestled in the left, the thumbs touching. And just imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. And somebody's above the crown of your head, very gently lengthening your spine. And tonight I'm going to add the Spock ears. You can imagine you've got the ears of Mr. Spock nice and pointy, and your puppeteer perhaps has got a little light string on either ear, very gently pulling your ears upwards. So as this is happening, slightly up and slightly back. So it's an action of lengthening and just aligning with your shoulders. And your crown is kind of reaching for the ceiling. And now the head slightly tips forward. The eyes, if they were open, they would be down, looking along the length of the nose, tip of the tongue and the roof of the mouth, and relax the jaw. Just bring our attention to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead, the eyes, back of the eyes, and the nose, the cheeks, that area around the mouth. And bring your attention to the back of the scalp. Welcome, Wooded. And there's an area at the back of the head called the Occipital Bone, and it is around about this place we have a lot of tension. We have a lot of weight in our head, our brain, our skull. So just try and relax that area there. Relax the scalp, relax the occipital bone, and the temples and the ears. And now the back of the neck and the shoulders, the upper thoracic, that area in between your shoulder blades, your angel's wings. Relax the throat and the chest, and the belly, the arms, the hands, the fingers, the legs, the feet and the toes. And let's just bring a mind to the breath. Just notice the sensation the cool air as it flows in across the nostrils, slightly warmer air as you're breathing out. And just let the breath go. Then, if there are any sounds in your external environment, in your home, outside your home, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to go off and investigate. And then your thoughts. There may be things arising in your mind, family members, work colleagues. Maybe there's an email you need to take care of. Just allow those thoughts to arise, the bubble to burst, and then just to flow on. So don't engage with your thoughts right now. Just allow them, let them go. Bringing the mind back to the breath. So let's just bring to mind all the people of our life, the ones we love and respect, who we take care of, who take care of us. The ones we don't really like terribly much, maybe we don't respect them. We might label them enemy, and then are strangers. We don't know their name. We don't particularly care. They don't affect us one way or the other. However we feel about these three categories of people, they are all the same in their wish to be happy, their wish to avoid suffering, and their incredible capacity for enlightenment. And it's difficult for us to see how the people that we don't like at all or don't respect could possibly have a single quality that would be regarded as good or virtuous. We think perhaps they don't deserve to be happy. But they do. We need to try and equalize our affections. It's a lifelong practice. And there will always be people who you feel closer to than others. That's just karma. But we try. So we think we do this meditation this evening for all the people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So we think we're doing this practice. It's a psychological process we're engaging in this evening. We've created negativity with our mind, so we're going to create positivity and counteract it. And we're purifying by applying the four opponent powers. So the first of this is the power of regret. And regret is, it's not about guilt. It's about taking responsibility, acknowledging that we've made a mistake. Just accepting it, owning it, and owning the harm that we've maybe done. It's just the first step in the process. And the reason to regret, the main reason, is based on karma. Because we've harmed others, we are necessarily going to experience suffering in the future. So the logic, therefore, is we remove those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And regret also the anger and the attachment. Basically our delusions, which are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. So who can we turn to? What can we do about it? So here we come to the power of reliance. And the first little section here is on refuge. So we rely upon the Buddha, Vajrasattva. We turn to Vajrasattva, who has the methods that we can use to purify. So we're not asking for forgiveness here. We're wanting these methods so we can heal ourselves, so we can purify ourselves. So visualize Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, about 2 inches above the crown of your head. And you can also imagine, it makes it a little bit more personal for us, this is the mind of your teacher, your guru, your lama, however you see them, the person who inspires your mind in the Dharma to practice Dharma. This is their mind, manifesting in this form for your benefit. He's made of this blissful, radiant, white light, radiating outwards. Very, very bright, translucent, ethereal, but with the mind of your Lama. So it makes it a bit more personal for us. He's sitting in a cross-legged position, in a full Vajra posture on a white lotus. It can be that in this picture it's multicolored, on a white moon disc. He has this beautiful face, very symmetrical, youthful, very pleasant to look at. And he has this lotus, long lotus-like eyes, and they're very peaceful and full of love and compassion for us, without judgment, just accepts you exactly as you are, meets you where you're at. And at the same time, he's looking at all the people of your life in the same way, just with love, compassion, kindness, without judgment. He has this sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. He's wearing this 5-pointed crown, embedded with jewels, precious stones, golden, and he's wearing beautiful earrings, necklaces, and armbands, bracelets, and anklets, and a beautiful waist ornament, also covered in jewels, all sparkling, again, all made of light. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So this next little section is compassion. So the wish for people, the really, really strong wish for people to not suffer. And in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone that maybe you've harmed recently, maybe someone in the past, someone you have regret for harming, and try and generate compassion for them. And then think of someone who's harmed you, and you want to try and generate compassion for them because the harm they've caused you, the suffering they've caused you, they will necessarily experience suffering in the future as those seeds ripen for them, and they never know when they're going to ripen. Also makes it difficult. So try and develop compassion for them and make a strong aspiration. We do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and you think, I must purify for their sake. So the next is the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, the practice of purification with a mantra. So the first is we purify the body. So imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar. It's quite forcefully, quite strong. I mean, you can imagine either a very, very powerful shower head pouring like this strongly, or strong hose, or your favorite waterfall. Just imagine pouring into you through the crown of your head, fills your entire body completely, and it keeps pouring in this nectar. And eventually it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any being with your body. And this disappears, it pours out of you, disappears into space. But it pours out, as it leaves your body as this kind of thick, black, yucky, oily smoke. And then it disappears. So it doesn't pollute anything, you don't breathe it back in, it's just gone. As we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebelwa Sutokaya Mebelwa Supokaya Mebelwa Anarakta Mebelwa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebelwa Sutokaya Mebelwa Supokaya Mebelwa Anarakta Mebelwa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Duda Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Duda Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Duda Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Duda Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything now other than be of benefit to others with your body. How amazing. Everything you touch, everybody that sees you, smells you, is a benefit to them. So the next is a purification of the speech. And Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body. Except this time, forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine that all the gossip, idle chatter, rabbiting on about nothing, harsh speech, lying, and talking about other people behind their back, and getting other people to agree with you, all of this completely purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Duda Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Duda Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Duda Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Duda Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Duda Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So the next is a purification of the mind, and Guru Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light this time. Very, very strong light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown chakra and fills your entire being. And it's just the same as when you walk into a room and you switch on a light. The light instantly dispels the darkness, doesn't it? So it's the same way. The moment the light hits your heart chakra, the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all the attachment and the neediness and the grasping and the wanting and the anxiety and the anger and depression, bitterness, jealousy, grudges, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamatsita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, be delighted, really rejoice that all your delusions, which are the source of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, finished. And think now, there is no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. It's just this kind of subtle energy that's left behind. So imagine, you can imagine the previous 3 visualizations either simultaneously, which is kind of busy, or just a couple of mantras for each one, or just imagine light and nectar flowing from Guru Vajrasattva's heart, pouring into you through the crown of your head, and fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. As we recite the mantra, Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So now really feel you are completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So the fourth step is the power of resolve. And it's a really crucial one, is this decision and this determination, excuse me, to not harm with our body, speech, and our mind. Again, but that's sometimes a little bit, we're human, we have habits, and we do tend to do things over and over again, often without thinking. So we try and, kind of zero in on some of these habits we have. Try and bring our awareness to some of our habits. And think of something that you would like to work on specifically this evening. Excuse me. Maybe it's something to do with your speech. Maybe you bite your nails. Maybe you procrastinate. So if you do something like procrastination, you can say to yourself, you can give yourself 30 seconds to procrastinate and 30 seconds to not procrastinate. So you just allow yourself to procrastinate for 30 seconds or a minute, and then time it. Have your phone alarm go off, and then rein it in and see if that works. And refrain from procrastinating for maybe 30 seconds, or 2 minutes, or 5 minutes, or even overnight while you're sleeping. That's a good one if you gossip, because you're not going to be talking to anybody while you're asleep. So you can safely say, make a promise to yourself, I won't talk about so-and-so for for the next 7 hours or 8 hours, because you'll be asleep. So that's a fantastic one to do. So think very carefully, make a decision, and then as you'll notice, slowly, slowly over time, you actually started to refrain from doing quite a few things, and the instance of you doing things that are harmful to others becomes less and less. It just takes time, perseverance, effort, and a bit of awareness. Amazing. So this determination to not do again is what gives us the courage to change. So imagine Guru Vajrasattva, your Lama, delighted with us, and wanting to merge with your mind, he melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call this union oneness. So next, Lama Zopa Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So place your mind in that empty space for a little while. We think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And we can say to ourselves occasionally, oh, maybe things aren't appearing, maybe the way things are appearing to us isn't exactly the way they exist. It's always good to question that. It breaks down our concrete view of the world. Things appear to us according to our own personal view. Okay, so let's just dedicate all the merit we've created this evening, all the positive energy, by doing this purification to all living beings, particularly thinking, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings as quickly as possible. And let's say some prayers for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world. To the incomparably kind Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honouring the 3 jewels, savour of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe-la, beloved teacher, leading your students towards wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. Goes so fast. Thank you so much, everyone. So lovely to see you all. And please do take care. Those of you who are not feeling very well, it looks like